In yesterday's video, I talked about how surprised I was by the speed at which my metabolic health returned. But there were other surprises in this metabolic journey. I was surprised, very surprised, how easily I was able to eliminate electronics from bed from one day to the other. It took a few months for my sleep to fully consolidate, but I have not looked back, and that is an enormous surprise. I was very attached, or at least I thought I was, to my laptop and my cell phone in bed, and I don't even think about it anymore. Another absolutely wonderful surprise, which I think is fundamental to my ability to maintain the changes that I've made and documented over the last 5.5 months, is that my enjoyment and appreciation of food has never been higher. I cook a lot of my own meals. I also eat out, and I've been totally surprised, especially now that I'm kind of where I want to be physically and metabolically. There's no more target out there. I'm here. I'm where my body wants to be, needs to be, and my job is just to maintain it. And during this maintenance, I'm able to enjoy food. I'm learning how to cook things I've never cooked before. I am looking at food in an entirely different way. And that was hard to imagine for myself on day one. Another surprise that I experienced, and that is really clear as I look back in retrospect, was how I was able to eliminate processed foods and refined carbs overnight, and without much suffering and without much missing them. Of course, I had urges. I missed it a little bit in the beginning, but today I don't miss these foods. In fact, we have guests, and they brought milk chocolate, and the house is full of chips and chocolate and, well, just things that I don't eat anymore. And currently, they have no attraction to me. That is a really big surprise. That's the kind of thing I would read about, or see people like that, and just wonder, well, how is that possible? And now that's happening to me. That is crazy. It's crazy wonderful. Another surprise that really would have been too much for me to hope for on day one is that I'm enjoying and discovering foods that I didn't eat before, especially in terms of vegetables and fibers. And I'm really finding great enjoyment in these new foods. It's a huge surprise. The last surprise that I'll cover in today's video is about my appetite and my satiety and my hunger and my ability to listen to, or to receive and to hear the signals that my body is sending me in that way. I've never been someone who would have described himself as in touch with my body, these kinds of things, but today is very different. It's a huge surprise, and it's part of the reason I've talked about how in some ways, in many ways, I feel like a different person than on day one of this series of daily documentaries. If someone were to ask me today, hey Gerard, what is the one thing that I could do to help improve my metabolic health? My answer would be walk after every meal. Try it for a week or 2 weeks and see how you feel.